Guys, you see what happened at the court today now? The video clip is everywhere. Yes, Nnamdi Kanu, the ginger, that guy confident need to be studied. That guy confidence, that man confident, we need to study him. We need to just go open university for him, begin the study him, because I don't know where that man is getting his ginger from. Seriously. Now, Justice Omotosho have postponed everything set in November 28th. That is when he's going to that is when the final judgment is going to take place based on Nnamdi Kanu terrorism trial. Yes, we had that one, no problem. But I'm still trying to figure out something, because Nnamdi Kanu said something, Nnamdi Kanu threw a question to Justice Omotosho, which he did not answer till now. Yes, now he said if the Federal High Court cannot obey the Supreme Court and they don't obey the Constitution, he asked them a simple question: why are we now in the court? What I feel that Nnamdi Kanu is trying to expose a contradiction. This is the major reason why Nnamdi Kanu is defending himself. He's trying to expose a contradiction, and he's really unmasking everything bit by bit, Yeah, because assuming that he still have his lawyers, there are limits to which lawyers can go. They cannot say everything. They can't say everything. But you defending yourself now, you can go at any length you want, as long as you know what you're doing. Yes. Now he said, if you cannot obey the Supreme Court, and if you don't respect this Constitution, why are we now in the court? Something happened there, okay? Something happened there. What this Nnamdi Kanu is trying to say is that the reason why all these people, the judges, the lawyer, all the government officials, are operating is because of the Constitution. I don't know if you are getting it. Yes, the only thing that gave them the authority is the Constitution. And in a place whereby the High Court, the judges, the lawyer, Justice Omotosho do not respect the Constitution, then it is now meaningless going to court. That is why he used that language. Why are we now in the court? I don't know if you guys are getting it. Yes. Now, if you go through what he said very well, now in other words, he's trying to say that Constitution is the only thing that gives them the power to judge anybody. That is what that word means. Then he says something again that is very, very vital. Because if you are following this Nnamdi Kanu case, you just have to learn a lot. He said that he blotted out the Nigerian Constitution and was showing Justice Omotosho. He was like, this is your Constitution. Your Constitution says that you cannot try anybody except if the Constitution is written. That is, if the Constitution covers on what you are trying. See, guys, when Nnamdi Kanu blotted out the Nigerian Constitution, was kind of pointing to Omotosho. That guy gathered books, so yeah, heavy one. I see the way he was just carrying it with his shoulder here. I was like, now wow. Now back to the matter. No, he was pointing it. I was like, which Constitution or law is Justice Omotosho going to use to rule this case come to November 28th? Yeah, because I was kind of trying to put my head around, this whole thing. In as much as we know that this is now a political charge case, that they are masquerading as how do I call it? They are masquerading it as kind of a criminal case. But I was asking myself, how is these people really going to do it? Yes, because if Nigerian Constitution said that you cannot put someone, you cannot legally put someone to trial except if the rule of justice, which is the Constitution, covered it. I don't know if you're getting it. I believe this was covered in Act of Section 30 of 1999 Constitution as amended, which gives you, you the accuser, the right to fair hearing. You understand? The right to defend yourself on a proper and standard court. I don't know if you're getting it. Now, it also gives you the right to be tried according to the due process. Let me use that language. Now, in a situation whereby the judges, the federal high courts, the government officials, all those lawyers, are being disobedient to such kind of constitution, they are not following the due process. It entails one thing: there is nothing like rule of law in this country. Yes, the only thing we have is Tinubu and APC courts, and that is what is keeping Nnamdi Kanu hostage. These are the people that is keeping Nnamdi Kanu. There's no two ways about it. Because if it's by law or by constitution, Nnamdi Kanu is holding them here. Nnamdi Kanu is holding them here, and I believe that is why there is this all delays. They are trying to know the way to maneuver all this whole thing, but in any way that they try on how they try to amend it, to get results, the man is always ahead. See, guys, I don't know if you guys are getting what Nnamdi Kanu is unmasking, bit by bit. At this moment, this whole thing that happened at the court, to my own findings, what it simply means is that the Nigerian jurisdiction, should I say the Federal High Court and the federal government, all of them, whichever way, they are contradicting themselves. They are contradicting themselves. Now, let me explain, because if a lower court like that of Justice Omotosho's court, the Federal High Court, we ignore the ruling of Supreme Court. I don't know if you are getting it. If they ignore the ruling of a high court and they went outside box, to do what they want to do or what they love, they feel that this is what they want to do with their power, it means one thing, that our jurisdiction, our legal power, let me use that language, is no longer working on the foundation, that gives them power. They are no longer working on the foundation that gives them power. In fact, our jurisdiction and our legal power is now questionable. That is number one thing I feel. Then number two thing is that the Supreme Court authority is no longer valuable. The Supreme Court is now useless. There's nothing like Supreme Court again. Yes, now, because if I remember then they would say if they are being charged to court, and if you didn't feel like Federal High Court or maybe other high court, you go to courts, for instance, and the court judge finish, they do their blah blah blah, no can't like what they talk, you can't go to appeal court. If the appeal court no still do you can't go to Supreme, and that is the bottom of all of them. And the one they say Supreme Court not say this is it, no court get the right to try that again. So if these guys do something with, that is against what the Supreme Court have done, it means that there is nothing like Supreme Court again in this Nigeria. That's just the honest truth. Now, Nigerian justice system is being controlled and run by the political interests. That is the third thing I feel like, from my own finding. Nigerian justice system is being run by the political interests. There's nothing like Supreme Court again, because they are now null and void. Instead of their ruling, instead of what they declared, other courts will see it as null and void. Now, if Justice Omotosho, being a lower court, work against these people and jail Nnamdi Kanu, that means Supreme Court is now null and void. And thirdly, our jurisdiction, our legal power is no longer operating on the foundation that gives them power, and it has now become questionable. That's just the honest truth. There's no two ways about it. But we wait till November 21st, November 20. Let's see how this whole thing go. I remember when Nnamdi Kanu was kind of asking them, even Nnamdi Kanu brother, you overheard his voice, they will be like, on what constitution, on what basis are you people trying him? On what basis are you people going to convict this guy or maybe judge this case? Nnamdi Kanu was scared. I am Nnamdi Kanu. You guys cannot convict me. You don't know the law. If you cannot respect constitution and obey Supreme Court order, then why are we here? The guy went off. The guy went off, and that's not you guys saw that he went off, and that's just the honest truth. That is where Nnamdi Kanu is showing the reason why he needs to defend himself. Yes, because the whole world entirely is now seeing the kind of legal system, the kind of jurisdiction that we have. This guy submitted that he don't have any case with you guys. You guys dismissed it and asked him to enter a defense. A defense for what? A defense for how will he enter a defense when he have no case with you guys? Just the Omotosho is quoting Constitution Section 45 of Act of Criminal Code that is not in existence. They say, prove it, show me where it is written, because Nnamdi Kanu made it possible for the world to know that Nigerian Constitution is handwritten. And the way he was bringing the constitution, I was pointing it, this is your constitution. The constitution says you cannot try anybody, you cannot charge anybody except if it is written. Now, is the Federal High Court going to go, are they going to go against what the constitution says? Let's see and see how, let's watch and see how this whole thing unveil on 20th, okay? Stay safe, stay loving, stay woke, stay tuned, because I'll be bringing you guys back to back. I love you all.